Welcome back CIT 157 Module 4_3. In this module, you will see examples of how to prepare programming with Flowchart and pseudocode. Read head first JavaScript Chapter 2, Flowchart and pseudocode portion only. These are common program development life cycle to develop a program. First you need gather and analyze the program requirements. Then you will design the user interface and the program processing. Then you will write codes for the program. Then you will test the program. If everything is fine, then you will finalize document and maintain the program. I want you to taste some of step 1 and 2. Step 1 is an example of gathering and analyzing the program requirements. Just recognize overall view how one can analyze the program requirement. After you got a big picture of your program, how do we prepare the programming for the next step? You may use algorithm, flowcharts, and pseudocode to plan and design your program before coding. An algorithm is a set of ordered, step-by-step instructions that can solve your problem. In order to develop a program that will solve problems, you need to first define 3 important steps: input, process, and output. Flowcharts graphically represent the logic used to develop an algorithm for step-by-step depiction of the process. Flowchart is the general flow of the program. Here this example is the basic idea of battleship game design from head first JavaScript ch2. Step 1. User starts the game. Game places a battleship at a random location on the grid. Step 2. Gameplay begins. Repeat the following until the battleship is sunk. A. Prompt user for a guess, 2, 0, etc. B. Check the user's guess against the battleship to look for a hit, miss, or sink. Step 3. Game finishes. Give the user a rating based on the number of guesses. Pseudocode is an artificial and informal language that helps programmers develop algorithms. Pseudocode is a text-based detail, algorithmic, design tool. Pseudocode is halfway between real JavaScript code and a plain English description of the program. This pseudocode is an example of simple battleship with variables from head first JavaScript Chapter 2. In this activity, I want you to draw example flowcharts on the paper with pencil. Flowcharts can be used to demonstrate everyday processes such as changing a tire. Please note that the chart begins with a start and ends with a stop. Please note there are a series of processes that occur. Also note that there are no inputs/outputs or decisions in this process. This example is to calculate circumference from user's radius input. It has 1 input, 1 process, and 1 output. After process, it will output the calculated circumference as the result. Decisions are basically questions that have a yes or no answer. The decision symbol is a diamond, with 2 paths from it, one for the yes answer and the other one for the no answer. The arrows in the flowchart indicate the path that is taken based on each decision. Make sure that when you construct a decision, every choice has a place to go. In this case, if you move to the Find My Keys box, you then return to the main part of the flowchart so that you can start the car. Flowcharts are a natural representation of decision-making processes. You may even use this logic in your daily life, even if you don't write it down. By creating a flowchart, you can make clear to others what should be done. In this case, the decision is it snowing? If the answer is yes, then go skiing, if not, then go shopping. Either way, you will fix dinner next. This example shows that you may use multiple decisions to get proper tax form. This is an example of flowcharts to display proper patron fee. Sometimes programmers write code for repetition that is called a loop. The loop is an effective way to see that an objective or threshold is met before moving on. Loops allow us to go backward in a flowchart and repeat certain steps. In this example, the decision is there still time left in class? As long as the answer is yes, the user is directed to take notes until class is over. When the condition is met that class is over, the user is directed to leave the room. This is another example of loop. Instead of writing code for each situation, a general case is created to address all situations. The loop continues as long as there are grades to display, When there are no more grades to display, it stops. You can use MS Word to draw flowchart. With MS Office 2013, click Insert tab, click down arrow under Shapes in Illustrations group, look at flowchart. You may need lines and text boxes also. This is class activity _4_3. Using MS Word 2013, draw a flowcharts based on requirement. Create a flowchart to describe a typical morning routine for you. Start with waking up and end with leaving for work or for class. You should have at least 2 decisions in your flowchart. You may have just processes and decisions without any input or output. This is the end of Module 4_3. You have learned the concepts of algorithm, flowchart, and pseudocode. An algorithm is a set of ordered, step-by-step instructions that solve a problem. Flowcharts represent the logic used to develop an algorithm for step-by-step depiction of the process. Pseudocode is a text-based artificial and informal language that helps programmers develop algorithms. I will see you in next lecture.